Good evening. Hello, everyone. Back
Hi.
to Lost Things, a Wild Beyond the Witchlight adventure. With always these fabulous players to this evening to entertain themselves and, on occasion, you there in the corner. I see you. Right. Let's get started, shall we? We are going to be moving after Ysdred's introduction last session. Let's move into our shy young boy, shall we?
So shy.
So shy. Right. Tavaren. The classroom is it's cold, right? There's it is the energy that has been of magic is sort of naturally brought down the temperature in the room, despite the half dozen classmates around you. You can only, how should I put this? The main thing that you notice is the absence of one of the classmates. An empty chair situated just beyond another woman. But you feel
Anna?
that absence.
Is Anna not here?
Anna's not here. Not today. As you're
I'm
not
paying attention very well.
No. Which means that the snap of thermatically enhanced fingers bring you back to the class. As your professor, Professor Kasov, leans into you and says, Tavaren?
Hi.
Yeah, are you back with us? For a second there, I thought I had to actually use one of my spells to bring you back to your attention. Good. There's a bit of snicker among the classmates as this is not the first time. And to be honest, if you were not such a prodigy with summons, at least that's what people think, there would have been no reason for you to be. You would have been moved to maybe abjuration or something along those lines.
Yeah, fucking abjurers.
So, students, could somebody please remind our distracted acolyte here what exactly are the different kinds of summoning pacts? The young woman to your right sort of raises her hand and starts listing off magical properties and formulas that I will not enunciate here because I'm not Chris Perkins. But it comes down to basically three things, right? As in, well, one essential thing is that summons do not exist or not born from the magic of summoning them. They exist elsewhere in the multiverse, in some reality, and before being able to summon them through your spellcraft, you would need to tame them in a way. Now, wizards have their own way where it is written in the weave sort of binds the entity to you in some sort, as in you create the spell and then a spirit sort of slips into it, finding a nook and therefore making the link. With Warlock pacts, it's more of a, well, more direct. As in, quite often the patron gives this a pet to you, like a parent giving you your first responsibility. Make sure it's fed, make sure he's clean, that kind of thing. But lastly, the druidic arts, where here the spirits are to be sought out individually. They can be tricked, they can be attracted in some sort of way, but it's all about that link, where it's much less about coercion than any of the other two. Kasov, very well, Millie. I see that you've been moving along that track very well. Good. Any questions from anyone? No. Well, coming back to you, Tavaren. Come to the front of the class, please. I would like to. I believe that you are the best one for this coming demonstration.
Okay.
Now, as we all know, Tavaren has one heads up upon most of you, is that he already has a familiar that he is able to successfully and regularly summon to his aid. Tavaren, would you please, if possible, summon your ally?
Sure. Okay. Here, Hyrex.
How does the summon actually work? Is it you just call like like a whistling for a witcher's horse?
I call, and like sort of hold up my hand, and suddenly he's sitting on my hand.
Okay. Now, as you can see, Tavaren, you've chosen the druidic path of this for this. Correct. So tell us.
No, I didn't choose it. It chose me.
Well, you see there, students. That is also something. The same way that you might, as a wizard, open up your spells for a spirit to slip in, the druids have a way of opening, not their hearts, but at least a form of relationship, a link to nature, and this particular entity here is a symbol of that relationship. But, Tavaren, am I mistaken in thinking that Eric's might take other forms?
I guess, yes. I usually a hawk.
Most familiars come with a very specific first shape, in a sense. It is the one that is either chosen upon summoning upon that first summoning, or a personal choice, or sometimes just their personal nature. Eric's is of the Fey variety, is he not? Or they not? As the professor keeps sort of talking further and further, making this you can feel Eric's sort of nervousness as he's basically being described. It's like somebody going sort of showing you off as an anatomical exhibit, right? Sort of dissecting the entities in the whole thing.
I bring Hyrex in a bit closer and just sort of, pat him in the back of his neck and like, okay, it's okay.
Now, all that said and done, of course, it is important for a young arcanist to choose well the nature of their companion, as they will influence as much as be influenced by their familiar. Imps and other fiends would have their uses, but do not underestimate the influence that they will have in your decisions and on the way that they act upon your desires. Keep a close watch on these creatures that while may have your best interests in their heart, they also have their own interests. Kalaya, could you please? Kalaya, as he calls it out, there is a sort of a shimmer just on the ground of the classroom, and sort of burrowing up from the stone slabs is a fairly large and almost pudgy honey badger. You can see that that white streak along the lines of the head and back are mirrored with additional patches of gray fur, as you can see that Kalaya is quite old for a familiar. Yes, dear. No, sorry. Yes, Professor. How can I help? Well, thank you, Kalaya. Students, for the next week or so, you will be provided a temporary familiar from, by me. The choice will not be yours. These will be determined by the entities in the collection themselves. So, be open-hearted, be honest, and be careful. Now, we will see how much you can take care of them and they take care of you. Right. Kalaya, could you please bring the students to the gallery? And, well, this is not the first time you've done these proceedings. Yes, the professor. Come with me, children. Come along. And the badger sort of steps out from the room, sort of waddling on their short legs, with this half a dozen of students sort of getting up from their desk and following along. There's the snap of tomes and the clicking of pens put into pouches and that kind of thing, as everybody's sort of hurried out.
Yeah, I mean, Tavaren also he just wipes everything off his desk and just into his bag. Like, there's no ceremony or whatsoever to it. It's just like...
Yeah, which, I mean, if there's one ink-stained book in this whole class, I mean, yours is impossible, right? You barely remember to cork the ink bottle before it just goes right in. Tavaren, could you please stay a moment?
Okay.
Well, there's no real need for you to select a familiar when you already have one, but no, it's on another subject.
All right.
Don't worry, you're not in trouble.
It sure doesn't feel that way. Of course, no, not at all.
Just take your seat.
Okay.
The professor, sort of a wave with his hand, sort of erases any sort of arcane formulas that were up on the big blackboard at the end of the room, and sort of steps over and says, "Oh, how long have you been here at the academy, Tavaren?"
Not very long.
You arrived mid-semester, I believe, at the end of last year, so that would be 7 months.
Sure.
This is not an interrogation. Don't worry. I'm just trying to... Well, there's been a bit of speculation on your part. Young man coming in, seemingly off the street. Again, with the headmistress's recommendation, and so that I'm not going to put in, not question that at all. But your skills with regards to Druid craft are, well, beyond norm in a sense for someone of your age and of your studies. Let's put it that way. You seem to have a affinity with the Fae that is, well, astounding, even to one of my caliber and my experience.
Okay.
Have you had dealings with the Fae before? Well, before you joined.
Me? No.
Tavaren, it's.
Yes.
I am not trying to catch you into a lie. This is not an interrogation. I just, well, as a student of my class, especially in the summoning, well, I need to be able to know who I'm dealing with, in a sense. Take Millie, for example.
I am Tavaren.
Yes, you are. And we have met. This
Yes.
joke is getting old. But no, take Millie, for example. Young wizard, quite well. She needs to be taught things twice, but once it sticks, it sticks. Or Goran, his ambition is definitely going to be need to be looked into. I did not look at the twinkle in his eye when I talked about the potential Warlock pacts and the dangers of them last week. Each of one of my students is unique in a way, and I try to reflect my teachings in that. I know most of them, at least what I believe, fairly well, but you remain a very close mystery.
I'm sorry.
Well, you are Lady Thunderstaff's protege in this academy, at least for this year, and we recognize that. You are not the first and you will not be the last to be offered a scholarship, but at least the others... Well, I guess what I need to know is, are you dangerous to my class?
Do I look dangerous?
As in, if you have an affinity to the Fae, and that they respond to you, it can mean two things. That you are favored by the Fae, or the other way around. I want to make sure that should you summon something bigger than your familiar, that it will not wreck my classroom trying to get to you rather than helping you. Do you understand?
Okay, yeah.
So please, can you tell me, have you had dealings with the Fae before?
Yes.
Are you about to answer that, or not? As in, are you sort of hesitating or on your cusp of answering?
He's sort of going like he's sort of going like, yeah, I guess maybe, yeah.
There's you can see that there's sort of a smile on Kasav's face as he goes to oh, and there's just in the door there's a, how should I describe it? I cannot describe it other than a pale shadow. An outline cut into the light coming from outside, but the shadow seems gray, not fully black, as the the silhouette of the tutor shows. I am going to need a reminder on the name. Just give me a second. Sorry. Oh, Marius. Kasov. Can I help you? Well, I was to believe that your class ended, and as I was taking stock of your of your students and saw that Tavaren was missing. Is everything okay? Yes. We were just having a conversation, and I was congratulating him on his summoning skills and seeing if I couldn't specialize my tutoring for him. That is a bit preemptuous, don't you think, Kasov? Young Tavaren here would need to know much more about the basics before you start specializing him. Yes, of course. Yeah. There's a sort of moment of silence between the three of you. Right. Well, Kasov, if you are finished, may I borrow Tavaren for a moment? Of course.
Today.
Well, come along, Tavaren. I believe the lady wishes to speak to you.
Hey. Am I in trouble?
There's as you sort of step forward. How tall is Tavaren? Right?
Tavaren is still...
He's
fairly tall. He's 6 foot tall.
Yeah, he's 6 foot. So, yeah, but it always seems that while you're taller than most of your... I was about to say siblings, but the people around, Marius has always had that thing where he seems taller than he really is, in a sense. And as his hand sort of puts down on your shoulder, said, No, come, no. Just wish to learn about your progress, and maybe have an opportunity for you. You walk from the academy through the back garden of the mansion, seeing seeing the Thunderstaff Manor in all its glory. You can't sort of escape just a flicker to the window, where you can see, just again in silhouette, the golden head of hair just pass by the window. There's a sort of a snap. This time much softer. Almost, it's that snap that is just on the edge of your perception, but is enough. But incites just enough of a panic response, just like a branch cracking in the woods at night. Barely heard, but immediately you give your full attention.
I'm listening.
We need to work on your awareness, Tavaren. Especially if you...
I'm aware.
Especially for the task that is going to be presented to you.
What's that?
As you walk into the single hallway in the middle of the mansion, you enter through the patio and the back door. He pulls out from his jacket a long sort of silver envelope on which there is a seal, a wax seal with the Thunderstaff crest. As he hands it to you, there's just that slight moment where both of you hold the envelope, and there's just a sliver of sort of almost chill that goes through it, as if you were holding something metallic that had just come out from the cold. And just along the creases of the paper, you can see sort of delicate lines, almost like frost, sort of dancing on the paper. read that in your own time, but I believe that what you are looking for will be closer to what you wish.
What do you mean?
Anna is to go on her first quest soon.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It is. It is something of importance to her, even though she might not recognize it yet. And I was told that you would have an interest in keeping her safe.
I do. Yeah.
Then good.
Wait, who told you that?
Do you actually think?
Yes?
I still talk with many people on the other side. Though they might not wish to do so. Or mean to do so. But yes. It is my nature to hear things, to see things, and to make things happen. Lady Thunderstaff asked me to find her daughter companions that could be trusted. You are to be the first of those companions. The others will arrive soon.
Is this letter from back home?
No, this letter is from the lady herself.
Okay, good.
Anything?
Huh? What?
You will be... I must warn you. This will most likely not be an easy task. But again, she is in need of allies, and you are to be that to her.
Huh? I'm an ally.
And you have many on your side as well, from what I understand.
Well, I want to make more friends.
Good. Good. The other two that will be joining your group are of the Fae. One is coming from us from the Temple of Gond, I believe. He's been here in Waterdeep for some time. The other is a bit of more of a mystery to me, as I do not know their countenance. But you are to trust them, but you also are to watch them. Is that understood?
Okay.
I do not ask you to spy on them for me. I have my means to do so. Just remember.
Keep Anna safe.
And the Fae are wild.
Yeah, I know.
You do. Good. Right. Well then, and there ends my lecture. As mentioned, feel free to read the letter at your leisure. If you have any questions, do not bother the lady just yet. I believe that there will be a meeting of 4 where she will be able to answer any questions that you might have. If still you have more questions, well, that will be to be seen at a later date and time. Good. Now, carry on. Oh, and before you go, Kasov, avoid him. He does not have your best interest in his heart.
Oh, okay. Why not?
He is a curious man who turns his questions into power. In some ways, he's more of a spider than I am.
Wait,
So be wary with him.
like literally?
There is a reason why I would not want you to go and see his collection.
What does he collect?
Allies.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. He's also making friends.
He makes friends, yes, in his
Yes.
own way. But I have said enough. As I
Anyway,
said,
yes.
stay away from him as much as you may. He is a brilliant wizard, and that brilliance can burn many people around him. So, I will see you at dinner.
Okay.
And he, in that silent walk of his, just goes towards the nearest door, opens and closes. You are alone now in the corridor. Where'd he go?
I guess I would still go to where the class was supposed to go.
Okay.
Like,
As you step back out onto the patio, you can see that the over the large garden, there's a wide sort of open space where it's that space. It looks like a sports field, right? It's this flat piece of grass and gravel. Where you would have abjurers have their duels, you would have the enchanters try out their latest tricks and so forth. And you can see there, being observed by a severe man with a graying badger at his hip, a half a dozen of young and older humanoids, I would guess, chasing down a cloud of animals and entities and pixies and snakes and whatever might happen, trying to get them to behave. On your shoulder, Artix looks upon that and just goes, sort of shrugs.
okay, Rex. I'm not gonna let them chase you.
You step towards the chaos?
He takes a step towards the chaos, and then suddenly remembers the mop of blonde hair, and then goes like towards where the window where that was.
You turn back, and as the camera sort of follows you to the patio, back onto that door, the door closes behind you. We stay outside, and that's where we get the credits for today. Let's move back to the yellow shell. Right. So, friends, where were we last time?
About to watch the Grand Extravaganza.
Yes, it was extravaganza time.
We made a new friend also.
That you did.
Yep.
That's not what I wanted. That is... Let's do this one. Please? There we go. The last we left off, you had chased down at least one troublemaker. A Kenku by the appellation of Kettlestein that had been sowing chaos by harassing the siren, scaring off the dragonflies, and who knows what mayhem that you might not have witnessed. But you were also privy to another troublemaker. A little girl wearing a mask, a pig's mask, and a big lollipop in her hand, seemingly whispering promises of bliss, forgetful bliss, to a now engaged halfling. The four of you stand around Kettle's theme as she told you her story. A warlock of Zybilna, the Archfey, who is also the patron of this carnival, and she knows of a path here situated in the carnival that would lead to Prismeer. But by the nature of her pact, she cannot herself walk into it. And so, having not had any news recently from her patron, she basically was trying to harass the carnival staff to get Mr. Witch and Mr. Light to talk to her. But seemingly, they have not been playing her game. So as the music around you starts sounding, and the barkers from all different corners of the carnival start announcing the big top extravaganza. Come one, come all. See and be delighted by this year's show.
Oh, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Kettle's theme sort of looks at the four of you, immediately distracted by the carnival while you were actually talking about important things. But gets shrugs.
I thought we had convinced her not to do any more mischief.
Yes, but there was
for
still
tonight, at
no,
least.
definitely.
Yeah.
But there's still
Okay.
the plan, as in how Just a moment. Again, she. Well, I say she, but the way that you hear it. No, I say she because she is a female Kenku, but the voice coming out of her mouth is that sort of very sort of. It's a soft, silky, masculine voice. Which she speaks fully. Right, it's not the sort of broken accents or phrases of a Kenku that you might see elsewhere. No. Wait. If Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are not ones to meet with me, maybe they might meet with you. You've been going about doing good things, haven't you? You've caught this little troublemaker. Is that correct? You've been enjoying the games?
Yes. And that is exactly how I hope that we'll be able to get the information we need.
By playing games. Oh, no, dear. But there is one way. During the extravaganza, at the end of the show, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light always do a recruitment, inviting all those who might wish from the audience to perform for them and delight the audience. And those who are successful and bring in the cheer, well, they will get a one-on-one greeting from Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, as they are always looking for new acts. That's your opportunity there.
Plum?
Yes.
We might interrupt them after the show. Yeah. Go to them after the show.
If we
Okay.
need to perform, we shall perform.
I wanted to ask if that was true and if that was indeed how it happened.
It is.
It's true. It's true.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I must
In Plum's
ask.
voice, I would answer. There are many ways into the carnival. You can run away. You can be hired. Many ways.
Are you
So,
alone in
you
that
did not have
body?
permission to use my voice.
No. That is the GM talking through you, Plum. Basically,
Yes, of course there are many ways to get it.
Are you alone in that body? I must ask.
How long is what?
Are you alone in that body? I must ask.
Oh, okay.
Wait. What do
Oh,
you mean?
you're
alone
asking
in a body?
Kettlestein.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? That is a
Your
strange
voice.
question. Oh, this voice, yes. Well, I have a gift with voices, and Zybilna has given me the opportunity to, and the skills to, well, take what I need.
Do I recognize the voice? I can roll a history check for you if you want to be sure.
You know what? Let's go for. Would you have known? Let's see.
Well,
would you
depends
have
how
known?
long. How,
Yeah.
if the concerned person's voice, if they were long
I
enough.
don't know. I think they're mostly recent. They're recent additions. So I don't know if you know. You would not recognize the voice.
Okay, then he's gonna just shrug. Like, okay, never mind.
Yeah. But had you heard the rumors about?
Yes, I did. I noted it down.
Yeah. What rumors did you? What did you?
That Burley said about. Burley said, ask to them what happened with Candlefoot's voice. That's what I noted down.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Huh. Right. Okay, I'm making a click right now. Is it you that used your gift for the man in no color?
Yeah, well, he was. I mean, he's a mime. He wasn't using it anyways.
So you took without permission.
It is the nature of. I mean, I always intended to give it back. I just need
When?
it for now.
When?
When I know Zybilna is when I get assurance that Zybilna is safe.
So now that poor man whose job is being a mime and who's usually able to relax from that job after the hours has no choice but to be a mime until you give back the voice?
You can see now that Kettlestein that has sort of the shoulders had sort of perked up. She was standing a sort of maybe a bit taller because she was talking to potential allies, and so the allies she was getting a bit more comfortable, saying, "Okay, we're on this." All of a sudden now, sort of as you're making that comment, sort of that head sort of shrinks back into the shoulders. The body sort of tenses up a little bit, as maybe they're expecting something to happen.
Did you plan to compensate the men? You cannot steal for something that intimate without compensation. It is not the way.
But you were not supposed to steal at all.
No, but in case of emergency, I might be understanding if emergency and compensation is given. But it seems that is not the case.
We are not angry, we are just disappointed.
There's sort of a clicking noise coming from the back of the throat of the Kenku. What am I to do then?
Ask.
And would they? It's much quicker this way. Besides,
It's more
like I said,
easy
it was.
this way.
But the point was to make trouble. This was one way. I've told you this. I don't play nice. I play trixies on the folks and to get their attention. Stealing the voice of one of their hands while he was making a direct declaration was the perfect way of getting their attention.
So if I want to gain their attention by wearing a fancy coat of feather and I was taking all of yours, would that make it okay?
Make me an intimidation check.
Can I help, like, to be like the muscle
Sure.
next to her? Like, hey, she has a point there, actually.
Yeah, make me a intimidation, and I will allow the help action on this. So you have you definitely have advantage.
All right, first roll of the night. Yeah, I'll need the help actually, because one is good, one is not.
Oh yeah, okay.
The help was declared beforehand, so you do
Yes,
have
yeah,
advantage.
absolutely.
Thank you, Plum.
Again, there's that sort of that from the back of the throat, that sort of a very sort of a corvid animalistic sort of clicking, and she pulls out from one of her inside the cloak, sort of many there, you can see that there are sort of many pockets inside. She pulls out one, and she pulls out it's a straw, sort of a straw doll, sort of tied up with string, but there's a sort of there's one piece of thread that seems to be sort of around the mouth, a sort of a black and silver a braid that's just braided around the mouth of the little doll. And she holds it up to you, Ysdred, open hand, open palmed, and says, "Have him take the string away, and his voice will be back, and I will. I'll just have to find another one."
To
No, I will ask.
Good.
And to understand, if we have a conversation with the owners, we have a positive point now that you have given back the voice of our dear friend. But they will be more lenient to help us.
You talk
Good
to them.
actions.
You talk to them, and you tell me what they say. I'll be back. I'll be watching. Can I go now?
Go and behave.
There's again that sort of that clicking as there's a shimmer, and you fully understand that not only she has sort of misty stepped, but also into the you can just sort of actually make me a perception check. I want to see if you actually notice this or not. Yeah, nope.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, Anna, yeah. Okay. That's
Yo.
I know Misty Step.
Yeah, no, you don't mean. I think that Anna with the 20, you definitely notice. Tavaren, you're a bit sort of you notice the sort of the misty step just as but I think Anna, you're the only one who notices that in a particular group, there's a group of children sort of running along, and one of them just happens to be a small tabaxi wearing the same kind of blue coat.
Cloak, yeah.
And cloak that Kettlestein was wearing just so yeah, you just see her sort of run off with the kids. The barkers continue sort of trying to move.
Yeah. Being a Thunderstaff,
Yeah.
how likely is it that I recognize the cloak for a cloak of disguise or something like that?
You do not feel. Make me a. I guess you could have. You had enough time to sort of investigate and try and figure out. So make me an investigation check.
Nice.
Indeed. On that 20, I will give you this. You do not feel that. You do not feel that Kettlesteam's talents came from any enchanted item in particular.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe something closer to your talents, as in, you know.
Yeah. Okay. It's the. It's more her Warlock pack then.
Yeah. By the way, the new Warlock, the new Archfey Warlock is incredible with regards to Misty Step. It's amazing. Yeah. It's a whole class just about Misty Step.
I tried to have a look at it, and then I realized that the only one in the free rules of D&D
is the Fiend.
is the Fiend.
So we've got the book at home, so you can just look at it.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. The barkers, following the sort of the you can see that the kids that sort of ran past you are headed towards the big top, sort of herded by these the barkers, which are Witchlight hands mounted on stilts with the cone voice amplifiers. How do you call them? Loudspeaker? No.
Voice cones.
Yeah,
megaphones.
The megaphone. Yeah. As they're calling in, some of them are sort of juggling fire or ribbons and stuff like that, sort of moving everybody from the tips of the carnival up until up towards the big top, literally sort of herding the masses into the tent. What do you do?
Let's go! Otherwise, we're gonna have bad seats.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. As you, let me find that. There we go. I had described the big top earlier. The roof of the tent reaching towards the night sky in 3 swooping peaks, topped with spinning gold stars. Painted wooden panels on the tent walls whirl in colorful motion, displaying vibrant circus performers. The sound of music and laughter drifts out from the canvas. There is no... the music seems to be the same as on the outside, as there's no specific act happening currently, but you can hear that the noise of the crowd is growing inside, sort of echoing the murmur of crowd. Now, let's see. I need to get to that because there's a whole... Okay, here we go. Right. So, let's change the music on this because I actually do have something different. There we go. Let's put this a bit lower. There we go. Here we go. As you stepped into the large, it seems almost larger than it was previously, as if the big top on the inside is sort of growing to accommodate the crowd that sort of seeps in. Previously, as you had looked in, it seemed to be a smaller, more intimate event, as only maybe 30 or 40 people were watching the different acts. Here, you can see that the seating is moved to 300, 500, with the seating sort of grazing high above the central circle. You can see. Yes.
It's bigger on the inside.
It's as big as it needs to be. You know, if time is soup, well, space is just the croutons. You find seats. Let's try and have a look. Somebody roll me a check. Let's see how. Just roll me a d20. Let's see how good the seats are for you guys.
Let's go.
Who's rolling the d20? Oh, Tavaren. 19. Right. Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
So I mean, okay, Tavaren. What would be your ideal seats, basically? Oh, you're muted.
As close as possible.
Close as possible?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No. Definitely. You find a couple of seats front row. There's a family of halflings. The 2 parents and their 6 kids. Sort of all of them sort of that steady sort of decline in height. Sort of seating on the front benches. All of them. The sticky with sugar, candy, popcorn, or juice, or whatever they might have had. You understand that this... Yes?
I think what's sorry. What Tavaren is doing, like when as they go to sit down, like he's pretty tall. So then he, sits down and then looks behind him and then apologetically sort of points over, like, sorry, he's very short, so we have to sit up front.
No, I'm talking that you are on the same. You're seated next to them, not in front of them.
Yeah, no, but like,
I'm
still going to be sitting in front of someone.
There is, yes, you're sitting in front. I think this was sort of a very stoic-looking elf who sort of just looks back. They seem to be a pair of maybe nobles from Waterdeep, as they brought out the gowns that are a bit poofy in sort of the most recent manner of fashion. And so there's just a single eyebrow that sort of raised towards you. As they themselves are, of a good height, and you can see that the other one on the next just. No worries. We thank you for your concern. And just sort of deadpan. They do not like. I mean, they look like a pair of Vulcans having fun, right? This is. Oh, by the way, this is a joke that I read somewhere. You know what the difference between an elf and a Vulcan is?
The length of the ears.
The length of the hair.
Oh.
Anyways, right. As you sit, and all of a sudden, almost as if the carnival were waiting for you specifically to put your butts onto the padded wooden seats, the lights dim and a hush falls over the crowd. A second later, a spotlight illuminates a lithe elven figure sitting in a silver hoop, suspended above the center of the stage. The ring itself being held by silken ropes, losing itself into the darkness of the top of the. The elf wears a dazzling suit of diamond-paned mirrors and a pair of butterfly wings. His scepter is topped with a spinning vane. Welcome, one and all, to this evening's extravaganza. I am Mr. Light. Prepare to be delighted. Let's see if I actually do have a Please tell me. There we go. Here we go. Mr. Light. The show begins as the elf sort of starts spinning around along this sort of the silver ring. The scepter sort of leaving behind a circle of sparks, lighting up the center ring. You can see one by one the different actors and performers that have been basically performing for this night sort of enter in a large parade sort of around. You can see the ogre sort of holding in each hand these small circus attractions, like a trapeze or other acrobatic sets, and you can see small lights moving from one to the other, sort of performing tricks, circus tricks, but they're in those massive hands of his. You see Candlefoot walking about with a large hat box in his hands, and occasionally as he's waving about, there's the lid sort of pops up and you can see a young woman sort of in sort of a devilish kind of makeup. It's unsure to see if she's actually a tiefling or she's just made up in that way, but sort of comes out sort of waving and then closes the box again like a hatch and sort of puts back in. Candlefoot sort of again listening in, sort of shaking it occasionally and doing that whole thing. You can see that there's a woman walking about with an animated coat rack, and on occasional she'll flip around dancing almost like a waltz with this, and occasionally as the coats on the rack would transfer onto her and backwards and forwards. I'm not going to go in all of them at this point, but the parade goes around, and again from his point of view, you can hear Mr. Light presenting each one of the performers in turn as they center onto the stage and do their tricks. Is there anything? How do you sort of react to this? Are there any? Oops. Well, that's a carnival, I guess. Anyone?
I think if my sister passes by, as always, as the brother I am, I will make a lot of noise. And I will try to make enough noise to see if I can affect Mr. Witch or Light. To watch them right in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
To make clear, like, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Just give me a second. There we go. There we go. This is the one that I've been looking for. So
yeah,
as
sister passes by making a lot of noise, and if the circus masters look at me, I'm gonna watch them dead in the eyes and make clear, like, yeah, I'm here, and make a non-verbal sign like we need to talk.
Okay. Could you roll me make me a charisma check.
Oh God.
Oh, I know what I'm doing to you.
God, it's like I got a -1 on that. Fuck. Right. There you go.
Yeah, there's definitely a moment where you sort of turn around, trying to see if anybody's not accepting your cheer, you know? But
yes.
But the idea is you realize that nobody's paying attention to you. Everybody's attention is on the performers in the center ring, and your glares and intimidation or sort of cheer harder meets no one's attention.
A little tear goes down the cheek of Plum. I have failed.
Oh, you haven't failed. Sorry. There. The show lasts for, I would say, something along the lines of 40 to 50 minutes, as the different as I mentioned, the each of the performers sort of comes out in turn to perform. The last, I think, let's see, could somebody roll me a d8, please?
To roll a d8.
Can do it, but it will be quicker if someone does it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, there you go.
Okay, that's a 5. Right, okay. Yeah, I guess the final act is those 8 clowns launching themselves from a magic cannon. So this is your people, basically, Plum. As the last act, the apex of the show, for at least for this evening, is those flashes of artifice as smaller fae and gnomes and halflings are sort of projected from here and there into, sometimes almost into the stands, as they just catch ropes sort of dangling, hidden from sight by the shadows, and just crawl around. You can see that themselves are not, there's no system of lights situated in the above them to sort of illuminate. No, all of them, at some point you start to realize that as they are shot up through a very well-timed fairy fire spell, and so they themselves become this sort of illuminated flashes of light above, swinging here and there across the darkness of the big top, almost in a hypnotic pattern. The show brings about as all of them sort of end in this greater ring, almost like a Maybomb. You know,
Yeah.
How do you call those in English?
Maypole.
Maypole, as they sort of swing about with Mr. Light sort of in the center, and as they sort of move in closer, as the ribbons draw closer, they sort of trap him in that circle, which disappears, and well, he disappears, and the silver ring sort of falls to the ground with a ringing of a bell, just ends into the center of the ring, and then in a flash of light and smoke, Mr. Light appears at the center and takes a bow. As he looks upon everybody, and again in that sort of shrill kind of voice, he said, "Friends, attendees, are there any of you in our Witchlight tradition would come to the stage and perform for us as we have performed for you? Do not fear. We are all here in good favors and would appreciate any who would step forward. Please, anyone."
Plum is gonna step forward.
Do you step forward?
Yeah, I step forward.
Okay. Is there any other that wish to... So, this is how I think. You may join alone, or you may join as a group. So, is Plum sort of standing up and moving into the space alone?
I stand up, and anyone who comes with me comes with me. But it's like a reflex. Like when the moment it comes, it's like he stands up without thinking.
What you
So
gonna
anyone
do?
who joins,
Have you told us at any way or point what you plan to do?
I think
if
you would
I
have
go-
had the time to do this, yeah.
If I would do alone, I would do a typical strongman act. And we missed someone.
No, don't worry. Keep going.
that if it would be alone, it would be a strongman act, and if it would be in group, he would actually try to adapt to the magical capabilities that everyone has. But he says like alone or together, this is something that I need to do. That's what he makes clear.
Okay.
Like, I mean, without preparation, it's a bit different, but I guess you can make a number of the woman cut in half with his dreads, like pretty easily.
Okay.
Oh, we have cut.
I was thinking for a strongman act, Anna's probably nimble enough to be able to be hoisted up on your shoulders, or just any form of carrying and yeah,
Okay.
those kinds of acts. So yeah, it depends on what we want to do, and if we've got time to talk about it and construct something.
I think that you would have time. I think that at the moment where Plum you stand, Mr. Light sort of presents the which you would know to be the witch vein. So the witch vein scepter, towards which you would know, Plum, that the scepter sort of vibrates in a way to basically detect the mood of the carnival, right? So Mr. Light is very much very much in tune to the mood of the carnival. And there's, as the vein sort of towards you, there's just that it just moves about like if there was a invisible wind that's just invisible wind. Winds are invisible. Anyway, imperceptible wind. There we go. That sort of shakes the vein, and in a moment, you yourself find yourself sort of illuminated as your brothers and sisters had been previously. Well, we have a returning act. To all, I would introduce you to one of the lost, one who has come back. Plum, please step forward.
I turn around and I see who wants to join.
Anna will stand up and join you.
Okay.
Like, Ysdred also, she will be your technician.
Okay.
Sound
And-
effect and lightning. And if you want to lift her also, you might, but she'll do the props.
Okay.
And seeing how everyone else got up, Tavaren's like, oh, I guess we're going on. and also follows, but he's very much like,
Okay. As as Mr. Light coos with delight, it says, and Plum, Goldenback, and again, there's a spin of the vein, and friends, please come forward. So, I guess the question here, as you enter the center of the stage, we are going to make a group performance.
Sure.
So,
Yep.
Can I negotiate with you for something?
tell me.
Because I told it was a strongman act
Yeah.
instead of performance. Can I use athletics for it?
Performance, maybe you can use my characteristics because I have a +4. And I
Well,
will
no,
not
this is a
be
group, so all of you are going to be rolling for this.
Everyone's gonna be rolling, yeah.
Now, I do appreciate that.
I prefer to negotiate.
Plum, I will say this: are you proficient in performance?
Yes, I do.
You are. Okay, so I will allow, because you mentioned it, I will allow you to use your strength as the main, but you will be, basically roll athletics because I believe you're proficient in athletics.
Also.
So that would be the same bonus if you rolled performance. So basically you're rolling performance, but with your strength. Okay. Are there any other negotiations before we go into the roll?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Taverne, you want to do something also?
um,
Come on, do it. Do it.
to be fair, right now the way I'm imagining the act is Plum carrying Anna doing stuff while showing off his strength, while Tavaren is probably like with his familiar
I think the thing
going
that he
through,
does is just
flying through.
summoning his familiar, because
And Ysdred is gonna do the narratives and
the introductions.
introductions, lightning, and put on display part of thing.
Okay, Ysdred, what are you using? Prestidigitation, I'm guessing?
Somaturgy.
Thaumaturgy. Okay, yes, I like that. Okay, right. Well, let's all of you roll me a performance check, please.
Give me something
That's
good.
a good start. That's a very good start. Wow!
Nice!
I
Plum.
mean, I have a fucking +0.
Plum, how dare you have tried to one up everybody with a 19? You were okay. You know what? This is
No, it's the experience talking.
yeah, exactly.
He's the one. It's the front of the show, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, you're backup, I guess. But yeah, that is wild. As you start, I guess my question would be, how do you do this? To the applause and to the delight of Mr. Light, who is giggling and applauding. There's a moment where as you're looking around, he is actually sitting in your seats. Or maybe
Of course.
maybe not in your seats. I believe he sort of situated himself between the two halfling couple, as they're sort of a bit, they're getting completely entranced, and he's sort of clapping along with the vein, on occasionally sort of throwing in a bit of sparks. The crowd roars with either laughter or amazement, cooing and booing, whatever you might try and so tell me, what is the act? Plum, you did the high, so you tell us how this is going.
I think the moment that Ysdred is going to do a presentation of and I present to you Plum and Anna Thunderstaff. I'm actually gonna look at Anna and I'm gonna be like, okay, on my sign, jump, and I'm gonna catch you and I'm gonna put you on my shoulders. Lean forward and try to take a bump. And step by step, I'm gonna guide Anna in doing the trick by trick by trick. And there's even a moment while she's on my shoulders, and I'm gonna say, the strength of the circus is our family and our joy. And when I do that, I actually put one hand and I lift her with one hand up, while Anna is standing at the same time with her 2 feet on one hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because even the smallest person can bring the biggest delight to everyone's heart.
Anna,
And then
okay. So Anna, you are now sort of situated 1 foot on Plum's tiny little hand. What do you do?
Anna, being trained at least as not what we would imagine a ballet dancer, but at least as a
ballroom dancer, yeah.
Will probably so her balance is good, she's got quite good acrobatics, so she's gonna stand up and probably lift her foot a little bit behind her and just make nice movements without moving too much, of course, because balance. But reproduce and maybe even have some prestidigitation sparks coming out of her hands just to illuminate the scene.
Is there at any moment you use your sort of teleportation or?
Maybe at the very, very end to get off of Heinrich's hand. Not Heinrich. Oh, switching. That's not good. Plum. To get off of Plum's. Instead of being dropped down, she would just misty step down.
Okay.
Oh, no.
And I think what would happen as well is she would make like little forms, little squares or rounds with her arms for Tavaren's familiar to pass through and have demonstrate his flying skills.
Okay. Tavaren,
if he wants to.
So Tavaren, how do you, as Anna sort of move the camera towards you, how?
So Tavaren takes his hawk and lets him go up, and he summons a thorn whip.
Okay.
to sell the idea that this bird is doing this because of all the training that it's gotten. Of course, yeah, no, it's familiar. It will do what I say that it has to do. So he's sort of trying to and apparently with the performance of 18, it's actually not that. He's trying to sell it with like the thorn whip of going like, whoosh, and yeah, there he goes.
Okay, I like it. The is there any at any moment do you actually wild shape yourself?
The problem is that like the wild companion only lasts for an hour. And I think that's it was longer than an hour ago since I lost some of them.
Timey-wimey space and time, whatever. Okay, so you're saying that you would use your second. You would have. Used your second.
I would have to use. Would have had to use my second wild shape to summon him.
Okay, fair enough. So, and as indeed Eric sort of does this sort of aerial ballet around Anna, maybe sort of at some point sort of diving into that sort of shower spark. All this time, Ysdred, what are you up to then?
Well, everyone is kind of in the moment making stuff. I think she just picks it up and turns it into a story. Like the strongman and the maiden against the evil beast beast master and everything, and she will use voice sounds effects, animal sounds effects, thunder and everything to go with the flow and create a little story too.
How much do you fall into your own story, right? How much do you get into it itself? We know that you're a good performance because with that 18, but
I think she loves a good story, and she feel like maybe she's not really used to it, but after the poem thing and with the crowd like responding to it, I think she goes full into it, and she's spinning and adding things, and now wow, the Beastmaster is throwing his beast, and yeah, she's with the crowd, and she's like, what are they gonna do? Appealing for encouragement and booing and everything, you know.
So Tavaren, you've been made into the monster trying to steal Anna away from Plum's love. Yeah, the whole thing the act lasts for about it lasts about for 10 minutes, which is long for a circus act. But when it is, there is not a butt in a seat, as you get a thunderous applause from the rest. And to be honest, you can see as you are invited to take your seats, there's as I think that you would actually find, as you take back your seats and Mr. Light to go, well, I wouldn't want to follow up that. Who else who tonight would wish to and I think Tavaren, as you sit down, you hear from the two elves behind you, the woman say, "There's always tomorrow, dear."
Oh.
As there's just the creaking of the wood as the man of the two said, "But I want. You were right. Let us. I would not want them to. I would not want to steal the thunder. They look like a good group, good kids." And say, "Yes, dear. That's exactly what I meant." The show as the last thing, so the parade again sort of comes in. Actually, maybe you are not invited to sit down just yet. As the parade, as nobody sort of comes up, it is towards the end of the show, of the extravaganza, and you are actually invited to join the parade as the artists come out, all to the well. There is one thing that
What I'm hearing
Sorry?
is that what I'm hearing is that you're saying that we increased the mood of the
Yo.
Oh! Wow!
we can't go up 3.
Exactly. Indeed the Witch Carnivals goes to the very top.
Nice.
Dang.
Yes. Well, I mean, that was... Look, a DC 14 group performance check is not to be misunderestimated. It is... Yeah, it's a big task. So, big task, big reward. As you step out, again, I think you're going to see it, and then the parade comes, and I think this would be your sister Plum sort of grabs you and sort of pulls you and to the others. There's immediately sort of linking hands, and you're going into the parade. As for one last sort of ring, round around the ring, and then you are slipped into the backstage.
Well, that's our way in.
That is. Technically, if we're looking, well, we'll talk about that at the after show. But yes, you find yourselves now as the thunderous applause. You can hear the music in the big top itself go a bit muted as you enter into that backstage area. You can hear that the crowd now, so that the applause has shifted from clapping of hands of clapping on feet on wood as people sort of get up and make their ways towards the exit, as there is still much to do. The evening is only half done as they spread out back into the carnival outside. So, you, however, not yet. You find yourselves in this backstage, and here it is crowded. You can see that there's all manners of stage hands and artists and makeup artists and all of that sort of. There's that bustling of the hands sort of taking off makeup, changing into other outfits, and that whole thing. Plum, you find yourself at home. This is what you've been missing for the past 8 years?
Oh, Plum is having tears in his eyes, and he's looking proudly to his fellow adventurers.
You are, each and every one of you, clapped on the back, on the shoulders. Well done, that was amazing. So, when are you joining us? That kind of, there's that bustle where everybody sort of, but there is that moment where, Mr. Light is nowhere to be seen. I will say there's one thing that sort of seems to sort of echo, which is, oh, it's too bad Pasha could not see this. Yes, that was amazing. Oh, imagine if she had been there to sing. and you can actually see that there is a large fishbowl on wheels that stands sort of empty to this one side of the entrance to the big top.
Oh.
Palasha, sorry, not Pasha.
Palasha was the mermaid, right?
Yes, she's the mermaid, yeah.
Yeah.
The one who got scared off or booed off by it.
Yeah. How is she?
Oh, most last we saw her, she was still sulking and sulking around. I believe somewhere. Her favorite spot is usually around the dragonflies. There's a there's a moment where you see the mime sort of walking about again with this sort of pink and white striped hat, and sort of goes to you and sort of puts one on tries to pick it on the shoulder, tries to sort of shake your hand with a big smile, sort of tapping on your shoulders. And sort of I knew you would be good, you know, that kind of thing. And sort of puts the box down and out, sort of taps twice on it and sort of waves away as he exits toward the building, most likely to go back to the labyrinth, to the Hall of Mirrors and the Hall of Illusions. Out from the box is a young woman whose flexibility is unnatural. As she pops up, sort of crawls out, and there's a spider-like kind of way, as she said. And if she weren't in that sort of bright red and colorful sort of devilish clown kind of way, this would very much work in a horror show. To be honest, just put her in white in a spider costume, and that's it. You've got kids running. It's like, oh, that felt nice. Oh, you four. I saw from the sidelines what you did. Very, very good. Are you planning on joining us on a more permanent? Plum, is it right? Are you trying to get yourself hired again?
We have other things to arrange first, and then things can be discussed.
We're on a quest.
Oh, quest. Ooh, chivalrous. And what quest might that be? Again, you can see that she sort of, I think she takes that sort of pose of, again, that lanky pose as she I think she leans against Ysdred, sort of looking at Tavaren and go, oh, questland. So how chivalrous. Sort of, you can definitely see now at the long tail that is sort of waving at the back that she's very much a tiefling. The makeup only sort of enhancing her traits.
Mm-hmm. A quest for lost things.
Oh, those are the best of quests, aren't they? Well, anyways, I wish you luck. I'm expected elsewhere. But if you find yourself, if you're looking for lost things, I will be at the lost property. So if you're passing by, who knows, we might have found something. Anyways, I need to get out of makeup. Hi.
We'll go right there.
And it just moves about. And I think she sort of, as she moves about, there's a moment where she bumps into a larger figure, and again, you can see that there's a hand that she sort of bumps in both hands onto the wide chest of Burley, and just goes. I think the hands linger just a little longer than they should as she twirls around and moves toward the back of the room. And Burley sort of comes in and says, bosses want to see you.
How are you, Burley?
It's been an evening.
More trouble?
No more than before, but no less either. Come on. So, Plum, seeing that you haven't lost your touch, huh?
I was very lucky to have good people around me.
I'm sure. So, let's move you in to art handout. There we go. Okay. As you move towards the back, you are I think for the first time, I believe, you leave the backstage and you actually find yourself in the staff area. There's that sort of bubble smoking clown with the black and white wings, sort of looking at you with a sort of that glare on, going, "I'm watching you." Let's give ourselves a reminder of what Thaco looks like.
You know they had fun with that name.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There we go. Oh, actually, no, not black and white. No, the sort of green and purple aesthetic. But again, that look straight at you, exactly as the picture, going. And you're brought to the center. There's a series of wagons contained in a high hedge around a central fire, and here you can see other sort of hands either taking their moment to rest, either to cook, have something to drink, sort of laugh. You can see a couple that are either playing dice or cards. Makeup is removed. The outfits are sort of open. This is an area of relaxation where the hustle and bustle of the carnival doesn't even come in. You can just hear maybe just the crickets of or sort of night sounds and the crackling of the fire. You are brought to a wildly ostentatious wagon. Let's see. Do I have an actual? Yeah, so here, the bugbear leads you to a circle of wagons. Leaning against a particular ostentation wagon is an aging clown with a painted grin. He puffs on a bubble pipe and glares at you as the bugbear, ignoring the clown, opens the wagon's doors and ushers you in.
On our way there, can I just ask one question to...
Sure.
The old one of the carnival, so Plum and Burley. Weren't we... isn't it usually Mr. Witch and Mr. Light hosting the big top at the extravaganza?
No. Mr. Light does the whole front facing the public. Mr. Witch is very much about the logistics.
Okay.
But yeah, well, you'll see them soon. As the door opens, well, I'll show you the image here. There we go.
Oh my.
There we go. A flamboyant elf in that mirrored outfit grins from ear to ear as he welcomes you into the wagon with a theatrical bow. Please come in. It's a delight to meet you all. I am Mr. Light, but you know this. And this is my associate, Mr. Witch. The burlier elf, that gray, the gray with the grayish sort of skin, belaying him as, I guess most of you would know this, mostly as a Shadar Kai, as in one of the darker elves, not the Drow, but you know the elves from the Shadowfell. There are, as you looked now, you sort of look as Mr. Light is still very much in makeup, but you can see that he mostly has the same kind of complexion as well. Mr. Witch just sort of grunts, sort of acknowledges your position. Well, what my partner wishes to say is that we thank you for helping making this night truly a delight for so many around you. We have seen your act, find it amazing, but we have been keeping an eye on the four of you. I've seen what you've been doing, helping and rescuing. Truly, thank you all.
You're welcome.
It has been our pleasure. And it's very nice to meet you.
There's a moment, Anna, where Mr. Witch sort of looks at you. I've seen you before, little one, haven't I? And he has he sort of has a look to Mr. Light, and Mr. Light said, "Oh, indeed."
Anna's polite. It's not her. Well, the four of you have seen her laugh at the carnival all night. So it's not her usual happiness smile. It's her polite presentation smile. Falters for a second or two, and then she catches herself. And I have been here before. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There's a moment where she's been here, but not. She's been here before, but and somehow not. You're a strange child. There's a moment where, again, Mr. Witch says, True. A mystery indeed, but that is not of our affair, is it now, Mr. Light? Anna, there's a flash. A memory that sort of brings back. You've been here to the carnival, what was it, 8 years ago, I think?
Yes.
With the last one. And you had been sort of but the memory comes from deeper, further away. Something where it's almost through reddened eyes and a sore throat. Blurry vision as you see Mr. Witch sort of standing above you. It's almost as if just in that moment, either you've fallen to the ground, or you're looking at him with another angle, much lower than you are now. Something you're pretty sure that this is the first time you've met these two, but yet not. Anyways, as my colleague said, we would thank you for your participation. Anna, you sort of interrupted.
No, I just wanted to say something. It's probably too small for anyone other than Tavaren to catch it, but so I wanted to mention it. Anna has a tiny cut in her throat, but there's a gasp. It's very, very small, but it's there.
Yeah, there's maybe just the realization. The moment there's that flash of emotion, right? As in that lump that goes up in your throat. It's gone in a blink of an eye. It's gone with the next thought, but it's still there. Anyone else?
Just observing for the moment.
Yeah.
And you, Plum, you've come back to us. What pleasure seeing you again.
It is a pleasure indeed.
Does this mean that you will be coming back, that you will be joining our little family again?
We are first going to finish our, as my dear friend Tavaren has said, our quest. And then I shall decide.
All of you make me you can make me an insight check.
Oh my.
Whoops. Sorry about that. Clicked on the wrong thing.
Yo.
Yeah, no, Anna's still mulling things over.
Okay. So what were those rolls?
I have a 7.
Bunch of 12s and a 17.
A 12.
Okay, Ysdred, I think that you would be the, of course, you would be the one to notice this.
For once, there's not many distractions around for her to.
Because the insight is mostly about, you notice that there's, when you talk about quest, there's a look between them. Sort of a knowing look, just a moment, but yeah, there's just I think there's a questing as a question look from Mr. Light, and Mr. Witch shuts him down.
Interesting.
Quest, you say? Well, as long as you do not disturb the carnival, feel free to pursue it.
I don't
Well-
think. Yeah, go on and then.
The carnival is not the object of our quest. We don't want to disturb it. We don't want to bother you any more than necessary. However, we would need your assistance.
Yeah, just passing through.
There have been rumors enough for us to suspect that you have an entryway into the Feywilds, as that is our destination.
Oh. Oh. The end. That should those rumors be true, you would understand that we would need to be
Careful.
as to who we would allow passage.
Of course.
And by what means would that information, that rumor, come to your little ears?
Well, does it really matter?
It does. For if it were true and a secret, then we would need to know. It would be dangerous for people to know. It were false and a rumor, that would be slander, and we would need to know. Don't you
Yeah.
agree?
I agree that if we were to share information with you, you should have to share information with us, and I believe it is not in your intention.
There are
However,
forces at work on the other side that are entirely beyond our control.
Yes, so maybe letting a Dullahan do their job is in your interest?
Again, the two sort of share a look. There's a... Again, I guess... I mean, you now sort of clock these, so I'm not going to have you roll. But there is definitely sort of a micro sort of shrug going to them. And again, Mr. Light sort of... She has a point.
And I know you Fey people and linked to the Feywilds or any realm of the Fey are big on favors. You have been watching us all night, and we have been helping you.
Oh,
It's a little favor we ask.
dear. That is not how things work here. You're helping to the Witchlight delight is part of the experience. You are doing us no favor by your acts, other than you amusing the others and yourselves, nonetheless. But I understand what you mean, and I appreciate it. Truly, we appreciate it, truly. But those favors that, and as a recompense will be given as we would lead out, but we are not in the habit of giving favors that we ourselves cannot. I apologize, but should that rumor of a passage into Prismeer be available and be true, we would not be able.
Well,
Then who would?
That, unfortunately, is beyond our... That is a secret that is beyond us.
Well, as you are not in any way able to help us, it is unfortunate that I will carry my duty and ask questions and look into matters.
Mr. Witch goes on and says,
It is clearly
it's a threat?
it's not a threat, but it is there's an undertext, like if you do not want to cooperate, maybe we will find something that you do not want us to find if you're making things difficult.
I think that... Make me again, this would be insight, but I'll give you advantage on this.
Thanks.
Being of the Fae.
Good.
16, yeah. I think that especially as Mr. Light answers, Mr. Witch sort of answers, you will do what you must, and so will we. And with that, I think that you kind of understand that they might be inclined to help, but they might be tied by some other means.
Pact.
I think I have a guess for something, but does Plum know more about the Witchlight Monarch? About what does incline?
What do you mean, the Witchlight Monarch?
Well,
the crowning of the
crowning of the Witchlight Monarch.
It's-
What does it entail? Is there something special behind it?
It's always sort of special, right? It's one of those. It happens every night, right? There's somebody is sort of blessed by the two of them And it's supposedly it brings good luck to the person who
receives the
blessing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more than just how should I put this? Anything symbolic when dealing with the Fae is in a way matters. Nothing is given without thought, nothing. And so if you are blessed in a Fae carnival, it will have some impact upon your luck, upon your fortune, something along those lines. This is not something that is done freely. There are consequences to the crowning. Right. Well, if that is all, again, we thank you for enlightening this evening with your cheer. On your way, Taco, would you please prepare a gift for each and one of our guests here?
Ooh, we get gifts?
Well, of course. Well,
that's nice.
as your friend here reminded us, to effort there should be reward.
That's nice.
Good night, and
that's nice.
Feel free to join us for the crowning of the Witchlight Monarch later on this evening. You would not want to miss it. Enjoy. And you, with a glare and a look, you sort of understand that you are expected to be elsewhere at this point.
Yeah.
I think while everyone goes outside, Plum is just gonna raise his hand. Can I have some minutes to make my peace? And after that, I will let you be in your business.
Of course. We need... Of course.
Do understand that the people that are with me have the utmost good intentions to help our family. I do not know which dealings that are happening, but if I can help, or my friends can help to make the carnival better, or making things more easier, that peace can come back, be assured I will help. But please, if you can help, I will be prepared to help in any way I can.
We will take that under advisement. Thank you.
Gives a little curtsy and hops off the cart.
As you leave the dorm, sort of you're let outside the cart onto into the sort of one, and there you have Taco sort of standing before you, his bubble pipe sort of placed on a bench near him, and he's sitting down and he's pulling out these sort of I guess these sort of inflatable tubes in his head, in which he's blowing. So okay, Anna, is it? You first. Come on up. What's your favorite animal?
I love butterflies, and I point to my I point to my familiar that's back into my hair.
There's that sound, the crissing sound of a rubber on rubber as he blows into this long balloon, and basically in a whirl of fingers and knots and so forth, basically pulls out makes for you a animal balloon in the shape of a butterfly, with a sort of silken ribbon attached to it, and he comes up and sort of binds it to your costume, or no, actually to your wrist, as this sort of balloon butterfly sort of floats above you. Then nods to Ysdred and said, "How about you? What's your favorite animal?"
Animal. Maybe a crow? Maybe a crow.
A crow. Yeah. No, classic. And again, a bird is sort of black with the black balloon going.
I would have thought you would have answered the horse.
I admit I was thinking the same, but
I mean, my favorite is Nixie, but she's not an animal.
Fair.
I am not an animal. But yes, as you'll walk that sort of that bobbing, as in there's almost the bobbing of the wings on the crow as you move forward. Plum, what would be your favorite animal?
huh? An owl bear. Go on, do it.
Oh,
I
he's good.
just look at Taco like, do it.
Taco looks back at you going, without even looking. A popular choice. This sort of massive.
I'm making all bears all the time.
Everybody's asking that.
No, actually, I would think that it's while he basically grabs a balloon, just blows into it, and it just takes on the form of an owl bear. As you probably he has a standard balloon. He doesn't even have to tie anything for it. Just has a standard owl bear balloon just ready to go. How about you, Tavaren?
I think he's gonna say a wolf.
Okay. Again, this one is a bit trickier. It looks more like a wolf poodle. But recognizable.
No, just say a very well-groomed wolf.
It's a dire. No, you get a dire poodle. You get a dire poodle. Yeah.
Oh my dire poodle.
Okay. Right. By the way, we've gone a bit over time for this first part, so I am going to suggest that we take a quick break here, and we will be back after for the aftermath. As you step back out from the big top into the main circus, or maybe not. Might have a conversation or two to left. Anyways, that is for that's for right after. Okay, see you in a second. Bye, guys.
Bye.